all, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I want to welcome you. My name is Eileen. I am the owner of Veer Up, which is an HR and career consulting firm. We specialize in helping clients find a job, redo their resumes, or change careers. Tonight, we have a special program. We are going to talk about how to spot a remote job that's a scam. But before we get started, please click that like button to help my channel to grow, and also subscribe to my channel. So let's get started. There are so many scams out there about remote jobs. In 2020, we saw so many companies, having jobs that are remote, but then there are also so many companies and scammers who put fake jobs out there, just a way to get your money. But I came up with 6 ways how you can tell if a job is a scam or not. So the first one is to follow your gut. Like my mom always used to tell me, if something doesn't feel right, most likely it isn't right. So if you see something that's just kind of is off about a job, that's the first thing you need to do. The second thing you want to do is look for signs. Signs are certain things that just don't feel quite right. The first sign is if they ask you for any type of personal information, that's a red flag. Any type of your address, your social security number, anything that's personal, a bank account. Some people will say, oh yeah, we just want to make sure that you can do direct deposit, so fill out this form. Don't ever do that. And one of the things that I realized is that if a company asks you for your date of birth, that's a huge red flag, because you can get a lot from someone's date of birth. And another thing is, if they ask for references before you even get started, that's a red flag. So anything like that, that something is up. And like I even tell my clients, when they do their resume, there's no need to have their home address on there. The only thing they really need to know is what area are you living in? Are you in Missouri or somewhere else? You can put your telephone and your email address, but that's it. Because so many people can take one little information and look you up and try to find, where you are, who you are. So personal information is a big red flag. And another sign you need to look for is when they say a ton of money. When they say you're going to make a ton of money, no experience necessary, that's a red flag. And then I remember maybe about a couple of years ago, there was this one job that said that you can make over $100,000, no experience necessary. And I actually signed up for it just so I can see, because I know one of my clients wanted to apply, but I went through the process and come to find out it was a pyramid scheme. I mean, they wanted you to pay a fee and then join this group where you bring other people in, and then that's how you make money. That's a red flag. And another thing is, if the job ad has a lot of misspelled words, that's a scam. Most companies have professional writers, so they're not going to have misspelled words. So those are things you definitely want to look out for in the beginning. So if you see a job ad, like I said, it has a whole bunch of misspelled words, they're asking you for any type of personal information, those are things that give you, those are things that stand out to make you say, this may not be a real job. And another thing is, if they say that it is endorsed by a lot of celebrities, and that's a red flag. No celebrity is going to endorse, a product or a company on a website to get people to sign up for it or to work there. That's not a good sign. And another thing is, I noticed a lot that, because I remember I got an email from Microsoft, because I like to kind of put jobs up on my website, and it was from a recruiter, but he said he was from Microsoft office. And I looked at his email address, and his email address was followed by his name, and it said Microsoft at Gmail. Now, anyone knows that you're not going to have a Gmail account associated with Microsoft. So that was a red flag right there. So those are things you definitely can look for. It's like if you get an email from someone saying they want to interview you, you're going to go to who it says it's from and look at that email. That is so important, because if it had an email with a whole bunch of letters and numbers at Gmail or at Yahoo, whatever, and it's not a company email, that's a red flag. Do not apply for a job there. Don't give them any of your personal information or anything. That's a red flag. So the next thing is look for keywords. Free. Anytime a job says free, that is a scam, because most companies will never use the word free because it doesn't cost anything to apply for a job or to get a job. So that's the keywords you want to look for. Another one you want to look for is envelope stuffing jobs. There's so many jobs that will claim you can make $1,000 stuffing envelopes, and there are no jobs out here like that. In fact, it is a scam. What it is, you pay another company to give you listings of companies that you might get stuffed envelopes for. So you're going to end up paying money, and really nobody on that list is really going to hire you to stuff envelopes. So that is a big one. So when you see that, run to the hills, okay? That's not a real job. Next thing that you can do to decide if a job is a scam, I'm going to tell you, I know I put it on there a lot, but research. This is going to be key finding out if it's a scam or not, because I'm telling you, scammers are getting so sophisticated. That is why you have to do research on the company. It's really simple and easy to do. If you know how to use Google, then you should be able to search a company. All you're going to do is put their name in Google search, and bam, it should come up. You should be able to see who is the owner of the company. You should be able to see how long they've been in business. You should be able to see their mission statement. You want to do all that stuff. So look up the company, and then sometimes it may not even be the company that's calling you. It could be a recruiter. So you're going to have to do your research there. Look to see who the recruiter is with, what company they're with. Go and look in to see if they're a real recruiter, because I'm telling you, if it's a legitimate recruiter, they're going to be on LinkedIn, because they want to find the best candidate. They should be on LinkedIn. If they're not on LinkedIn, that is a red flag that they may be scamming. I mean, I'm not saying all the time, but that could be the case. So, and then also, you should find out who you're interviewing with. Like, there are so many recruiting firms out there, and if they're legitimate, you should be able to find them. And then also, if they are recruiting for a company, find out who the company is. I can understand if they say they can't tell you until you get an interview, but if they still can't tell you during the interviewing process, that's a red flag. And then the next thing you want to do, if the company is really hiring for that position. So if they tell you, there's company A, B, and C, and they're hiring and recruiting for this job, you should be able to find that job on that company's website. If you can't find that job on that company's website, that is a red flag. Also, do a search on Glassdoor. That is a big one. And Glassdoor is free to join. What you can do is you can look to see what other former employees are saying about that company. So if it's a legitimate remote company or remote job, you can look that job up and see what other people are saying. And another thing is, it's even okay to reach out to the company. So like if they finally tell you that this is the company that they're recruiting for, call the company directly. And what companies are you working with? Because some companies will tell you what recruiting firm is legitimate, which one they're working with and which one they're not. So you can also do that. I mean, there's no harm in that, because there's so many scammers out there, and it's important that you protect yourself and your personal information. So the next way you can tell that a company is not legitimate is the interviewing process. I touched on that a little bit, but this is really, really important. So the first thing is, if you are interviewing and like I said, it's really fast, that's a red flag. And the second one is, if you have a virtual interview and no one showed their face except the person that was being interviewed. And I thought that was really weird. And of course, come to find out, that company did have some issues, the Better Business Bureau. So that is a telltale sign that a company is scamming you if they don't have a really structured interviewing process. So like, you should have a telephone screening interview that should be at least 30 minutes. And then after that, it should be a real interview that's take anywhere between 30, 45 minutes. And then maybe a follow-up interview just to close the deal. Sometimes that one's not that long, and you know who the people are. You can look them up on LinkedIn. Like, you will know that this position or company is legitimate. That's another way to tell a scam. So I know I talked a lot, but I just want to make sure I hit all the basics, because it's so important that you do research. Finding a job is really important, because some of us spend more time at work than we do at home. And so doing the vetting process, this is what you're doing. They're not just checking you out, but you're checking them out. And then finally, you want to ask questions. This is the part that a lot of people are just so scared, or they don't want to seem like they're not interested in the job because they don't want to offend the person that's interviewing them, or they don't want to offend the recruiter. Listen, if you don't ask those questions, you'll be asking them when it's too late. You want to ask them about a job description. That's so important. Like, if it's a real remote from home job, they should have a job description. No job description means maybe not real. So I think you have to, make sure you ask for that. And another thing is, you want to ask about the compensation. If it is a remote job, you want to know firsthand if it is commission based. It's okay to put the interviewer on the spot, or the recruiter, but ask them, what is the time frame? Who's going to do the final hiring? Is it going to be the recruiter, or is it going to be the company? And then ask them what type of information is needed to get hired. Do you have to do a background check? Or because if the recruiter doesn't know any of these things, they may be a part of a scam. And then finally, if you feel pressured to make a decision like immediately, that is a sign that it's a scam. You want to trust like I said in the beginning, you want to trust your gut feeling. Those steps will keep you from getting a job that's a scam. I feel like, as an HR professional, these are steps that will not guide you wrong. And finally, you want to go to websites that specialize in remote from home jobs. Like, I'm going to put a list in the description box. And again, I'm not endorsing anything. I'm not I don't get a commission or anything. I'm just trying to give you resources to make sure you don't get jobs that are scammers. So there's Ladders that has remote jobs and they're high paying. There's also Flex Job. I think that's a great one because they vet every company on their website. Every single company on there, they have verified and will tell you that this company is hiring. Let me know what you think. I would love to hear your comments about a remote job, a virtual job. What's been your experience? How have you gotten scammed? Let us know. Please, again, like this video. Please subscribe to my channel. And again, until next time, I will see you later, and don't get scammed.